Okay, thanks for coming back to the channel, guys. Remember how I say that if you're going to be off-grid, you better have a lot of money to pay people to fix your crap, or you better know how to fix your crap? Time has come again. Here we go. Got to check some batteries. Let's get started. Welcome to Hidden Valley Homestead, where my wife Olivia and I escaped the city to homestead our off-grid property in Idaho. This is our journey. Okay, so if you guys go back in the archives and look and see what I had 8 Trojan 6-volt batteries. There were 8 of them, and I'm running a 24-volt system. So, and I think they were 190 amp hours each. So 4 batteries made 24 volts, and so I had 2 banks of 24 volts at 190. So I had 300 and what does that work out to? 80 amp hours of storage. So I upgraded a year and a half ago. You guys watched that video where I had an opportunity to buy some used AGM batteries. They were coming out of cell tower sites as backup batteries. Now they don't get cycled very much. They're 12-volt batteries, 190 amp hours. I put 12 of them in. Well, now we're getting the battery monitoring system that I have. It shows 85%, but the voltage is down to 22 volts. And so it's tripping off our Starlink. It's tripping off, the lights are dimming real bad. That's part of a pump issue. I think that's going to be another video. I'm going to have to change up my pump. But I think the batteries, I've got a bad battery in there. Battery bank will only perform as good as your worst battery. So if I'm showing 85% capacity, but I'm down at 22 volts, something's wrong. Let's go get it changed and check out. All right. I believe I can disconnect my batteries and then turn on the generator, because the generator, right now, everything's connected. I still have my 4,000 watt trace inverter, which works just fine. Here's all my batteries right here. So these are 190 amp hours, 12 volt glass mat, or AGM, acid glass mat batteries. Don't have to worry about topping them off, no maintenance. I've equalized them a few times. But there's a bad battery in here somewhere, so let's get going. And I know that this system isn't quite as sexy as some of the other systems out there, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the fuse for my Trimeric so I don't blow it up again. You guys can go back and watch that video. Boy, was that a screw up. I'm going to leave a link in the description for these Duracell rechargeable LED lights. They got the magnetic base on them. They're freaking awesome. There we go. Now I need to turn off the inverter. There we go. We are now without power. Now this still has a lot of amps coming through it. I need to put a master shutoff switch for this, but I'm going to disconnect both of those right now. It's actually showing in the good range. See, for a 12-volt system, this is showing almost 13 volts. So I'm going to put a load test on it. We do the load test. It still shows in the green. That battery's good. This one's still showing in the green. Put a load test on it. Huh. That's showing that battery's bad with the load on it. This battery's showing good. For a 6-volt battery, it's showing okay, but for a 12-volt battery, it's showing bad. It's not even registering 12 volts. So that one's showing bad. This one's showing good, almost 13.5 volts. Put a load on it, and it's showing it's holding. Put a piece of tape on the ones I need to change out. Okay, this one I was showing it. I had put the load on it, and it showed bad. Well, I didn't have a good connection, so it's showing good. The needle barely moves. 13 volts. That's a good battery. All in all, I have 5 bad batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A couple of them were really, really bad, and that's what's bringing this whole system down, are those batteries. So, thankfully, I have 5 spares. How providential was that? Thank you, Lord. I'll leave a link in the description for this stuff. Battery corrosion, garbage. You don't have to worry about this because there's no acid really coming out. They do gas a tiny bit, but very, very little, very minimal. So you don't get the corrosion that you do on a regular lead acid battery. But I'll leave the link in the description for this. Okay, I screwed up again. Changing out these batteries, that's not that big of a deal. But let me show you what I did, guys. All right, guys, I've got 260 amp charge controllers here that go to the solar panels. I got the right size wire. The guy that sold these to me sold me the right size wire, but these are barely enough to handle the wattage of those panels. I have 6 330 watt panels on each of these. Barely 60 amps. So anyway, that's another story. What I didn't do is when I changed out these batteries, I did them at night. And so there was no voltage coming from the solar panels into the charge controllers. However, when I just changed these batteries in this video, it's been a couple of days, I did it on a sunny day. What I forgot to do was turn off all of the breakers to the solar panel so there was no voltage coming into here. They do not like to see voltage coming in with nowhere for it to go. So I had voltage, full wattage coming in, and I disconnected the batteries while I had the voltage going in. I blew these up. The light's not coming on. I hit reset a million times. Nothing's happening. I think I pretty much fried these. Now, these were cheap Chinese ones. I got some nicer new ones. I have got, check these out, Smart Solar. These are the Victron Energies, and these are an 85 amp charge controller, and it's a plug and play. So let's change these out. Here we go. Alright, I got these bad boys installed. They were plug and play. They were pretty easy to install. And they automatically sense the voltage from the batteries. They want to see voltage from the batteries first before you turn on the photovoltaic array, your solar panels. So I got that connected first and then plugged in the solar panels. However, my inverter keeps shutting off. That inverter keeps going into error mode. Maybe my inverter is finally giving up the ghost. These things last around 20, 25 years, and it's about 25 years old, so. Okay, I got the generator going. I had to reset this by disconnecting the power. I need to put a power disconnect in here. I think I said that before. I don't think it's the batteries. I think it was a low voltage cutout because we haven't had any solar all day, and Olivia's been using lots of power, and of course we have the refrigerators running and all that good stuff. So I bet these batteries are down below 20 volts, and so this thing will cut out when there's not enough voltage. Anyway, seems like it's staying off for now for a moment. So far, so good. Those charge controllers are working great. I'm really glad I upgraded, even though it cost me $900. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys on the next video.